Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are doing well, guys. I hope you were able to do yesterday's lesson very easily and had no issues. If you have any issues or had any concerns, please don't be afraid to reach out to me. Please feel free to reach out to me and send me an email, and I'll make sure I get back to you as quickly as I can. There's a couple things I wanted to talk about today. One kind of optional thing, and then the other is just going over the check for learning that you guys had on Thursday, I believe. Yes, on Thursday. You guys had it on Thursday, so I want to go over that. But I want to go over the optional thing first before I go through and into the review on Thursday from last Thursday. So I'm very sorry, guys, that I didn't address this yesterday. I was in kind of a good mood and was happy that I got to get outside and kind of forgot to address this and acknowledge this, and I'm very, very sorry that I didn't. I will make sure that I acknowledge it tomorrow. Also, for those of you that might not catch this video today. But many of you, I'm sure, are probably aware, probably saw either through the news or watched his press conference yourselves, however you might have heard it, however you might have found out, that we are not going back to school the rest of this year. We will be doing remote learning for the rest of this year. I am really kind of upset about it. I'm not necessarily happy about it, guys, because I am going to miss being able to interact with you guys on a regular basis. I am going to miss being able to teach you guys. I am going to miss seeing you guys finish out your year and everything like that. The one silver lining I can at least take from this is that I will still be able to see you guys, although not every day. When we go back, if and when we go back next year, I will see you guys as 8th graders. You guys still will be in the building, so I will get the chance to interact with you and talk with you and joke with you and stuff like that. So we're not completely losing out on that. The unfortunate part is that we are losing out on the time we have every day this year, which I am going to miss, and I'm kind of disappointed and upset, but still understand, but disappointed that we're not going to be able to do that, as probably many of you are. As a result of that, and generally when it comes to class and when it comes to interacting with you guys and talking with you guys, I really try very hard not to express my personal political opinion. I really try very hard to always give you guys the opposite view, the opposite political opinion of what you're saying. Not because you are wrong. I am not in any way saying you're wrong when I do that. What I'm trying to do is also get you to see the other side and be more knowledgeable maybe in your opinion and have a more informed opinion. If the opposite opinion I express changes your opinion or has some influence on it, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. But I really try to not do that because I want you guys to come to your own political opinions and come to your own opinions rather than take anything I've learned and take that as the absolute truth, because it's not necessarily that way. And it's not that way some of the time or all the time. Depends on what the issue is. Either way, regardless, guys, I am going to add a little bit of politics into class today, and some may see it as one-sided, but it is really, really, really important. And I'm asking you guys if you feel comfortable to go ahead and participate in this and do this. If you don't feel comfortable, don't worry about it. You don't have to. But if you feel comfortable about it, please take part in it. Please do it. Here's what's going on. Here's what the deal is. So because New York State has been shut down for as long as it has, and because businesses have been closed and stuff like that, if you guys remember, most of where New York State gets its revenue from is taxes. When I explained about that, when you guys asked about it in class when we were talking about the Constitution. most of where New York State gets its money and its revenue is taxes. It also gets it from the federal government as well. It can get some help from the federal government. So, because many of the businesses all across New York State have been shut down, New York State is going to be a little short of what it thought it was going to be in its budget for this year. As a result of that, they're going to have to make cuts and going to have to start taking away money that they thought they were going to be able to give to places like schools, like Messina, like J.W. Leary. And it's going to affect those school districts and those schools and have a huge impact on them. I know most of you might think that taxes and that money goes towards desks, goes towards books, goes towards all of those things, but it also goes towards your sports teams and your equipment. It goes towards a little bit towards music programs. It goes towards those fun field trips we get to do, like the trip to Boston. I know you fundraise, but it also takes money in the budget for things that you might need, field trips that you might go on as a class, or field trips you might go on with a particular group or a club or something like that. The budget helps pay for some of that. Fundraising also does as well, but the school budget does help pay for some of that. And because of that, if there is a loss, some of those things might end up getting cut, or something might happen to those sports teams, those field trips, clubs, stuff like that. So, if you feel comfortable, one way you can actually be politically involved and let our state congresswoman and our state senators know that the federal government could really do a lot to help state governments and give money to state governments to help with that shortage of money that the state is going to have. One way you can do that is you can go ahead and send letters to our congresswoman and our senators. And I have included copies of those letters in Google Classroom. If you feel comfortable sending it out, guys, please go ahead and do that. All you would have to do is you would click on one of those documents. If you're going to do it, please try to do your best to send it to all three. But if you only want to send it to one, you can do that too. But your best bet is to send it to all three. And what you're going to do is you're going to replace the highlighted portions. You can make a copy of it. You can open it in a Google Doc and make a copy of it. And all you have to do is replace your name, your address, your town, state, and zip, and then make sure you write the date that you are editing that letter right there. And then once you go down to the bottom, all you have to do is write your name. And then once you print it out, you can sign your name. You address it with the address of the address that's written right here, guys, for Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, for example. And then you would make sure you put your return address, which is your home address, and then put a stamp on it and mail it out. This would hopefully, if we can get enough people, this might hopefully get the attention of our Congresswoman and our senators, Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand, to try to fight to balance out, to help give enough money to balance out that shortage that states are facing. So if you feel comfortable, guys, please go ahead and do that. If you don't worry about it. You do not have to get involved. This is not a requirement, but it is one of those things that I wanted to let you guys know and just ask, because it will help our school. It will help our district. And it is something, if you're looking to find a way to be politically active, if you're starting to think that way, this is one way you can definitely do that. So if you feel comfortable doing it, please do. If you don't, please don't do it. I don't want to make you guys do anything you're not comfortable doing. All right. So that was that I wanted to make sure that I covered. The second thing, I'm going to go over what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be talking about the North Review. We're going to review the check for learning we talked about on Thursday, that I gave you guys on Thursday. That was all about the North. I want to make sure I review that and talk about that at the end of this. My office hours today are 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. If you have any questions, reach out to me then, and I will make sure that I get back to you guys. Okay? So that's the first part. That's the first slide. The second slide, if you are hearing my voice, you have watched today's teacher message video, so good for you guys. You have completed that first bullet. The second bullet, please make sure you have completed the workbook assignment from May 4th. I'm sorry. And please make sure you have completed the check for learning on the slides from May 4th. I'm really proud of a lot of you guys. I wanted to just say this before we keep going. I'm really, really proud of a lot of you guys that were able to go back and complete any missing assignments that you had not completed. I watched a whole lot of you yesterday when I went through and I graded and I checked all of your checks for learning, and I checked to see who had accessed the slides. I watched a lot of you go from failing to passing, and I'm really, really, really proud of you guys. I just wanted you to know that for those of you who were able to do that. For those of you that were not, you can absolutely email me and ask and find out what you still owe, and you can complete the work and do the work to be able to get yourselves to a passing grade and a grade that you can be happy with and proud of. But for those of you that completed the work and got yourselves to passing, I'm really, really proud of you guys. I just wanted you to know that. So make sure you do those checks for learning from yesterday. If you would like to help out the school and the district, please sign the 3 letters, change everything that's highlighted, and mail them into our state senators and our congresswoman. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I don't have a slide for that Google form question because it was a very direct, very straightforward question. It asked you what the economy of the North was based on, how the people of the North made money. And if you were like Jasmine Snow, Jordan Ashley, Kayla Topa, Brock Simons, Hale St. Louis, Corey Jarrett, Tony Bush, Ethan Lacombe, Topani LeBrake, Bella Kerr, KK King, you answered correctly in some form of another by saying manufacturing or industry, or I saw some answers that said that the North used cotton grown from the South to create clothing or to create cotton cloth or anything like that. I saw answers that talked about whale oil. I saw answers that talked about textiles. Those were all correct answers, guys. Great job. For those of you that answered that the Northern economy was fueled only by agriculture, or that they grew cotton, or they produced cotton, or anything like that, that was an incorrect answer. And I understand your confusion, because if you watched the Ed Puzzle, it talked about both the North and the South. However, you have to be able to watch a video like that and be able to figure out when they're talking about the North and when they're talking about the South. So that is something you may want to practice and you may want to think about as you are watching videos and watching movies and stuff like that, just so you make sure you get some of those checks for learning correct and stuff like that. So for those of you that got that answer correct, guys, great job. For those of you that didn't, go ahead, make sure you are thinking, make sure you're paying attention to the videos, guys. I know you can eventually work your way up to a 2 or a 3 or what have you, or whatever the case may be. It's absolutely within your power, guys. You have the ability. You just have to make sure that you focus and make sure and double check your answers. That's all you got to do. That actually covers, that's all I wanted to do for today. That covers what I had for today, guys. I will be checking all week just to make sure everybody has completed their work, and any new checks for learning or new people that are viewing the slides that are in School Tool that I've graded already, I will make sure that I update that and change your grade all week and do the best I can to do that. If you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, from yesterday or from today, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my office hours are from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. and from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. So don't hesitate to ask any questions you might have if you do have any questions. With that said, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And if you need anything, feel free to reach out. Have a great day, guys.